Hey everyone, I'm gonna play while I'm driving home. I'm gonna play you the beginning of the Dopamine Decoder. Okay, if you haven't heard it, if you haven't known what I've been up to, I've basically been channeling through a book the past 3 months. It is so revolutionary. It is out of this world for big brain thinkers, for intuitives, for people that think they're, a bit delusional, for believing in themselves. Like, I have the most incredible masterclass to go with this book to literally shatter your doubt that your perception, that your intuition is anything but brilliance. Okay, think about all the big thinkers. Van Gogh, they called him mentally ill. Now he's painting himself for 100 million. Mandela, Martin Luther King, like, they had to be revolutionary. Darwin, he didn't release his book for 20 years because he was scared of the outrage that it would do to society. You have to realize, and you will realize through this book and through this masterclass, that the doubt that you have of your brilliance is genuinely because your nervous system is afraid, because it changes society. And you're not trying to change society to hurt society. You're not trying to change society for you to be some big player here. You're genuinely tired of living in a reality where it doesn't make sense to use other people's ignorant logic for you to actually exist here. Like, when you realize that ignorance doesn't serve you anymore, you're not trying to become a millionaire to serve yourself. You're like, I'm done. It would be like someone that knows, like, quantum physics just acting like, oh, I don't know, like, no, there's just maths, there's just 1 + 1. Like, there's more to life. There's more to life. And key pioneers and thinkers that literally have paved the way, that mold society, the reality that everyone lives in, are because people had to go against the current system of limited thinking and go further than that. Okay? So here's a dopamine decoder where I was prescribed antipsychotics when I just had nausea and vertigo, and I didn't even realize. And if I hadn't twigged that, it could have literally changed my entire brain while I was writing a book. Preface: the Dopamine Decoder, a real-time consciousness rebellion. Before you dive into the 44 vows of sovereignty, you need to understand the neurochemical foundation that makes them possible. This revelation happened while finishing this very book, and I realized it was the missing piece, the scientific framework for why sovereignty actually works. What you're about to discover: your brain chemistry doesn't just influence your mood, it determines your entire reality perception. And the systems around us have become very sophisticated at managing that perception. This isn't a periodic table analysis, don't worry. I'm not claiming to have run a research lab for 20 years with medical funding. In fact, in this very preface, I'm showing you that we are the researchers, able to provide our evidence and research from our analysis of our lives. The 44 vows cover completely varied but succinct points, and this section serves to immediately reframe reality from within you so that you can interact with the work from a sovereign perspective from the very start. I invite you to stop paying the seeker's tax. I invite you to access your sole, sovereign, cosmic bank account, which holds all your greatest wealth, your ideas, your upgraded beliefs, your soul's prophecy. And I will help you in accessing that by nudging you of where to stop looking and where to start noticing. I'm incredibly curious just how far even just the preface takes you, for it is a cellular reprogramming story, even if this was the only chapter of this entire book. So, let us now enjoy this section, knowing there is so much more to come. This evidence became clear when I realised the universe literally gave me a prescription that decoded the entire neurochemical basis of consciousness sovereignty, and it wasn't an accident. The prescription that broke reality open. So there I was, finishing this book, when out of the blue, I wake up unable to stand. I lift my head up, no control of my eyes. I literally felt my right eye fall into my left. Why does my left ear feel like someone is punching it? Have I got a nail being hammered from my crown into my pineal gland because I feel like there's a dead weight in my centre scraping against it? Now, I rarely drink alcohol. I used to love it. It was a very immediate coping substance. I even was a landlady of a pub, drinking a glass of red vino to break my fast. However, things have changed, and it only lures me in when I am childless and can freely have a slow morning hangover the next day, because I always will. So on this particular morning when I woke up so disorientated, I put it down to the one glass of white wine I had the night before, as my daughter was at a sleepover. It'll pass soon. My goodness, I'm so sensitive to alcohol now. Yay! I've crossed the mark where my cells are so much higher than alcohol's vibration, I can't even take it. Woohoo! I'm evolving. After 36 hours of this, I typed into an AI my symptoms, just gathering nonchalant intel, to which it replied along the lines of, to not have been able to stand for 36 hours is a medical emergency. This is not a hangover. This could be serious head situation. Seek medical attention urgently. Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose it is. I hope this shows you I'm not a worrier. I don't walk around trying to spot patterns which make me squeal or need others to fix me. Quite the opposite. I'm almost too independent and normalised to suffering that even something like this seemed casual. It highlighted my normalisation of pain, suffering, and the knowing this too shall pass as a 10-year meditator, which made me laugh in itself, to the point I may even be having a serious health concern and my brain is wired to trust it to happening. Side note, if me or my daughter's legs were falling off, I don't usually utilise this too shall pass line of thinking. I've been up to A&E enough times with mine and my daughter's allergic reactions to know we need observation. Don't worry. So taking AI's advice, I accepted this might need a second opinion. It seemed reasonable to seek medical advice, seeing as it wasn't reasonable for these symptoms to be a more serious happening. After 111 heard my symptoms, they soothed my query. A nurse of over 20 years said, "Oh, this is standard stuff. See it all the time. It's labyrinthitis." I question what this actually is. Would I feel these specific pains with this diagnosis? And it seemed to line up. The balance, vision, migraine issues. Okay, I accepted the diagnosis. Yeah, just call us in 3 days if you don't get any better. Symptoms generally subside in 3 to 6 weeks. Labyrinthitis. This felt like something I was supposed to clock just by the name. They prescribed me anti-nausea medication, as there's no actual medicine for this ear viral infection. Apparently, standard stuff to soothe the symptoms whilst the body recovers itself. I managed to crawl down to the pharmacy 300 metres away and collect the so-called help in a box. Then I read the prescription label for the medication as I left. Also used for anxiety, overactive behavioural thoughts, mania, schizophrenia. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you have a tumour on your adrenal gland, family history of blood clots, if you've ever had low number of white blood cells, have low magnesium or potassium, underactive thyroid, you suffer with depression. Tell your doctor if any of the following side effects get serious or last longer than a few days. abnormal production of breast milk in men and women, loss of menstrual periods, impotence, insomnia. Your skin becomes more sensitive to the sun than usual, trembling or shaking or loss of muscle power, changes in your skin or eye colour, problems with eyesight after taking this medicine for a long time, breathing problems, feeling dizzy. Now, I only called for help to see if there was anything to help me with nausea, dizziness, not to get worse. Reading this, I can't believe people would take this. Honestly, they didn't ask if I have depression. I could do. They just asked, are you on any other medication? Which I'm not. They have my medical record, which says I discussed feeling anxious 10 years ago or something, as I was in a confrontation situation within my work. But fucking hell, this could change my entire brain and body regulation. What a fucking liberty. I'm sensitive. I actually expect to feel a sensory change in my system. Even off one sip of beer, I can feel it. One puff of a joint. I don't do drugs to have side effects of more dizziness. I do them to feel temporary bliss. Maybe temporary bliss to someone else is not spinning and losing their period for a few days. Each to their own. I haven't visited the doctor in years, and all of a sudden I'm being given antipsychotics without even knowing it. Now, you are reading my paper, right? I wouldn't take a pill which could alter my thoughts right now, even a top class E, because I want to create from my current level of awareness, fully aligned with my inner and outer experience, so that I speak from a reality I know I am creating, not chemically altered. I'm not looking to subside my pattern recognition, to confuse my focus and clarity, even if it stopped my boss eyes and allowed me to stand. I've got priorities here, people. I'd rather crawl to my laptop with cosmic vision than walk around pattern blind. Call me crazy, but this felt like a universal fork in the road, either waking me up further or trying to prevent completion. Same shit, different day, hey? Don't get me wrong, I was tempted. As a cosmic explorer, I used to like a good old excuse to let my thoughts float away. After surgery a few years back, I loved being given an entire box of codeine and Oromorph, probably from my consistent sickness as a child and the sweet taste of Calpol embedded in my circuitry. Something about being the victim and medicine making it all go away still tries to seduce me even to this day. But I can read the labels now. Contact pharmacist if male or female excessive lactation occurs. I haven't had milk in a while. Maybe I need some human form. Tempting. But knowing I have a mission, I wanted to finish this, whether I can walk or not. Nothing can deter a human with a sovereign intention, not even the NHS. Fuck that, I immediately said, walking out the pharmacy, just seeing the word schizophrenia. No, I knew instantly this is a white rabbit to follow, if you will. That's when everything clicked. The neurochemical truth nobody wants you to know. These are dopamine blockers. I was prescribed 5 mg. Schizophrenic patients get 100 mg. Same drug, 20 times the dose. And I thought, if this blocks dopamine and they need 20 times more than me, what does that tell us about their natural